street level. I think it's starting when you realize that you need more interaction with the community rather than only the art lovers in the gallery, because even that in North you don't have too much gallery in the museum. It's also really hard to interact with the people that you live together with. So street is give you the opportunity to actually meet with them without any permissions and like interact with them only with a random daily life, not like in a special event or special moment that they will be aware of that they are going to watch you. So it gives that spontaneous life movement.
Well, I think when I was young, around 14, 15, let's say, I discovered that there is a sense of of freedom. I think that was like, I like the idea that I could go with a spray can in an abandoned building and try to do something that maybe I didn't try to do before without having to ask many to worry about it. It was more like, I can say freedom at the beginning.
I think the lack of freedom is not about the living in an island, it's about living in a divided island. So you feel much more that you get stuck in some points because you have much more borders, even that you live in a one country. So that makes you much more aware of the identity crisis and like expressions, and something is not normal, you get aware of that much easily in here. And that's of course gives opportunity to create more about if we're going to say this is art. But I think it's more about question about your identity and where you belong and how you live and what's going around you. And these are the art subjects, but not exactly belongs to the art practice maybe.
Well, I think both happen at the same time. Like you can have a sense of freedom because more or less you can try to do whatever you want. You can like find people to collaborate easier. You can propose ideas, which is something that you cannot do so much if you live in a big city or in a big country. I think you have like easy access into nice projects or people that you would like to collaborate easier than. But at the same time, working and living in an island, I think that there is some limitations. You feel a bit isolated, and well, I think this is changing because now, since we have all these like social media platforms that you can see what other artists do around the globe, you can communicate with them, you can ask, you can share ideas. So I think that they're both happening at the same time and you're trying to find your balance.
I usually try to show it by drawing it as a whole unit rather than a divided, so it shows that it's actually a one geography, that it's not divided. Because you can see the border, it's not with the geography, it's with the mines. So I'm trying to set up those kind of a landscape that it shows the unity of the islands, like the geography, like maybe the landscape, because the roads and the mountains are going straight, it's not divided suddenly in the middle.
I would like to start a dialogue with people in a way, with like let's say young Cypriots mostly, like to ask some questions that by showing, let's say, an image with that you can see inside the contrast, then can provoke a bit more the chance to get someone think about it.
Street doesn't belong to the community that much, it belongs to the government rather than people living in. So police, government, municipality, those kind of power elements is kind of crushing the dynamics of the street for me. It needs to be more kind of a free place that you can do whatever you want without touching other ones too much, but it needs to have its own security and trust rather than one big element which is coming mostly from the government.
You are a bit more independent by working in the street. So that's what I feel that it's what what I really like and what I see as a dynamic, let's say, in the street level. That you are independent, you choose what you want to do, you find some people that they might be interested, you go, you do the project, and it's a bit out of this, art bubble, which can drive the projects go a bit wrong, in my opinion.
Of course, it's different, but I cannot see it as 100% because there's also a language barrier rather than a different type of subjects. So probably there's like so many things that we are missing right now from each other because we don't understand what we are saying exactly.
I think in South we have more the traditional graffiti culture, quite like more visible in the streets. Like there is I think that it's quite developed scene of like graffiti writers or graffiti artists that in North you cannot see this this phenomenon so much. In North, I think you can see more political messaging or people trying to say a message, say one idea, and try to communicate something.
In some projects, they especially ask for this, and sometimes it's really look fake, and it actually lose its power.
I work with some artists, but not because they are Turkish Cypriot, and they don't work with me because I am Greek Cypriot. We have a common understanding of a project, so we go and we do it together.